This is a little video about removing a drive roller on a double bell press. We had to do this because we had to replace the bearings, and for the drive shaft it's a bit more complicated because you have to remove the cogs on the gearbox as well. Any drive shaft on any bell press, single or double, is a bit more complicated because you can usually have to remove the gearbox. In this video we're going to explain the steps to it and how to remove the sprockets, how to replace the bearings, how to remove the drive roller, how to replace the bearings, and how to put it back together. So when we replace the drive rollers, we see that there is a gearbox that is attached. You can see that here, attached to the motor. So you need to remove that from the machine first, and you can do that by, adding those straps to it, put a bit of tension on it, remove the gearbox. Second, you have to remove the chain from the sprockets, and you have to do that by removing the top sprocket first, and you use a gear puller. Make sure it's big enough, and you can see how slowly you can drive that gear puller in. You can remove the sprockets, and then you can remove the chain. Once you remove the chain, there is a tensioner down at the bottom, and you can see that has a bearing on it. You check the shaft, that looks really good, and we basically replace the bearing on that. There's the bearing. Whenever we put bearings on, we grease them, grease the shafts, put it on. It's not a press fit, it's just a simple slip-on fit. And then we put the cog back onto the tensioner, put the bearing in, and replaced the snap ring so that the bearing stays in place. There we go, that's your tensioner. And so we had to add some heat to it, and then try to get that out. We were unsuccessful, so we decided to remove the top roller first. There's a plastic kind of bushing that sits around the casing, and then we lifted the roller out and over a little bit, and that roller comes off nicely. So you basically remove that, get it to your working station, and then you can remove the bearing itself. So here we have a bearing of a K2B 1200 or 1500. It's the drive shaft, so that's the hardest one to get out. First, what we do, we take off the plate here, and that is siliconed in as a seal. So a good little pad here for our parts. So because this is siliconed in, we gotta kind of break it open in here. Now this actually looks not too bad. In there we have an Allen key that we need to remove. So this screw holds. We clean off this. It holds the washer in place. And once we remove the washer, we should be able to just slip the bearing off right here. Just comes right off. Once it's off, I usually check my shaft. You can see here that there's this groove here. It's not bad. It looks worn. This is where the shaft seal sits. So the shaft seal is on the bearing. That's the one side. On the other side of it, we have
the shaft seal right here, right there. And that's the part that seals the bearing from water ingress, and that wears over time. Shaft seal looks like this. It's just a lip. Clean this off. So that's the outside, inside of the bearing, number 10. Here 2 silicone sealed plate. And we're gonna change the bearing anyways. See if we can. There it goes. And the ring. With the shaft seal inside. And you see here, this is also siliconed in, so it's watertight. Take this off. Now we're at a client's place, so we usually have a press with the right diameter. And we got to improvise here, so. We'll improvise, or farmering it. All right, there goes the shaft seal. And if we clean this up, you'll probably see the difference in the size of the lip on the inside. I destroyed it here a little bit, but. Inside of the lip here. If you look down this side versus this side, see how this lip is intact and sharp. There's one double lip where this one is kind of flat. It's missing that. Basically, we have taken the outside off. We have taken the plate off. We have taken the inside off. We have taken the shaft seal out. And now we got to take the bearing out. Should be easily coming out. There's usually lots of grease in these. There we go. Bearing comes out. That's that. If you go through all this trouble, might as well replace it. So that's the outside bearing. That's the bearing seat. Machined, solid. So that sits on this side, like so, with your ring on the inside where the shaft seal was. Now on the other side, we have the drive shaft side, and that is a little bit different in that we have 2 shaft seals. So we have a shaft seal on either side. You have your normal inside rocker, and then you have your other side, because this is actually, the shaft runs through. And you can see here too, there is some grooving right there where the shaft seal has been sitting, and that is fairly normal, and it can support a little bit of a groove. If there's too much of a groove and you're afraid that there's water coming in, you can take this to a stainless steel welder, and what they do, they weld on top around it, and then they put on their turn bench and grind it down to the right diameter again. Okay, this one comes out as easy as the other one. Yeah, you can see this is definitely worn, rusted out. That's the thing, they can't make these bearings stainless, so they're all mild steel, which are susceptible to water. That's that. I'll get some new seals and then we'll put them back together.